like that magnet, brothers and sisters, that when you come, you attract a certain degree of energy. If you don't, then your mind is buried, brothers and sisters. Because when you come and sit in contemplation and you listen tentatively of the word of wisdom and the lila, the glorifications of God, His place on time and the times that He engaged in. And here He sits in the arranged for all to reach at the royal court, and everyone taking a seat. Sri Rama accustomed to have taken away pains whoever so served him. Brothers and sisters, it is said in Ayodhya, when Bhagwan Sri Ram rules king and the master of the world, everyone was happy. No one was short-lived. There was prosperity and unity and everything that attributes to their well-being when the Lord rules Ayodhya. If you take the Lord for your master and you take Him for your Lord and you build the relationship with Him, then you need not to retire. You will always be there. You only retire from the job that you has been engaged. Now is the time for you to enjoy the benefits from such. But I'm sure you'll continue to engage in the garden and the grandkids and everything. So where there's retirement, there's no retirement there. Right. So here, once you serve Him, He will be there for you. And it is said, the one who takes away the pains and sufferings and all the hurdles of life, when you build that relationship with God, He will always be there. You see, the blessings of God is like an umbrella. Only this morning I said so. It's like an umbrella shelter you from the hurdles of life. If you go outside and it rains, you don't have an umbrella, you'll be wet. If you, just like you pray to God and you build a relationship, He will take care of everything for you. You know, once Hanuman, always use this phrase in this analogy. Hanuman was asked once, how is it that so often that you embarks in difficult times and challenges, but you're always being victorious? Hanuman smiled and said, I am not the doer, but my Lord is. When I say Jai Sri Ram, He's there with me. He empowers me, He motivates me, and He lifts my spirit and my energy. He does everything within me. When you have God with you, this is how you felt. This is the feelings that you have, my friends. Bhagwan Ram continue. Bari bhagya manusya tana pava suthala basava granthe gawa. One voice that out of great fortune we have born in this human world, this human form, by His grace. And it said, even educated men fail to reach the Lord. Even educated person fail to reach the Lord. Once Parvati asked Shiva, why not everyone comes to you? Shiva says, only the wise comes to me. Not the educated, because we can be educated and still do the wrong thing. You see, educated and a man with wisdom is two different things. You can educate, you can process the information correctly, but you execute wrong. The wise, Shiva says, only the wise comes to him. Who learn and who do the right thing, those are the wise ones. Those comes to me, brothers and sisters. Or even educated soul fail to reach you after committed sins. This body suited for spiritual practices. What is spiritual? Not just only to sit here and perform adoration to the God. Spiritual practices that you can have inclination of doing good towards them. You do it in the name of God, the name of goodness. Be selfless, kind and good. Have embraced good hospitality. This is the goodness of God. It's called spirituality with Him and without. So just not sitting here, this is what you do here today. You give thanks to God and you attain certain degree of blessings. But the blessings that you have here, like I said this morning in the temple, you see, someone can steal your house, your car, and your belongings. But no one can snatch away the blessings that you attain from God. No one can take that away from you. That's something that you attain through the merit of good practices in spirituality and in literally that you help and be selfless to others as well. Brothers and sisters, Bhagavan says, This body suited for spiritual practices means live in authority and also be good in kind of words and action to humankind as well. Both can lead you. You know, once a student was in class and he says, Guruji, what will reach me faster to God? Is by sitting in austerity and prayers or performing actions in goodness toward us? The teacher said to the child, what a profound question, my child. But both is equal. Both will reach you to God at the same time. None is greater than the other. You pray to God and you be a good person out there is equally the same. So brothers and sisters, that doesn't mean I'm saying not to come to the temple. You come to the temple, it brings recharging of the Atma, and it helps you to motivate and to bring spiritual energy within oneself. Going to the temple, praying in onesomeness, praying in a unified forces, in a congregation of many. God listens to those prayers where there is unity. परहित सरदम नहीं भाई पर पीर सबन नहीं अधामी निर्णय सकल पुराण वेद कर करहि तत् जनी कबीर नर. Oh brother Bharat, here Bhagwan Ram is saying to his brother, oh brother Bharat, there is no virtue like doing good to others. There is nothing better than that, to be kind and good to others in words and action. And there is no lowness like hurting somebody. There is no other sin which is greater than that. By hurting someone, by words and action even. You know, I always use this phrase too. If I hit our uncle, I break his hands, he go to hospital and he go plaster parasol, and he get turn better after a couple of months. But if you say something hurtful to him, it will inflict pains within, and the doctor cannot cure that. So that is why we pray Mirame Devi Saraswati Agatu, that we pray Ma Saraswati, culture words. That we be kind with our words, bring comfort to others, and not use his words to inflict pain to others. So that is why we should be choosing and we should pray to God so often to embody those principles and teachings of culture within our words. There is no virtue like doing good, and there is no lowliness like hurting someone. I have declared you to the sum of the total teachings of the Vedas and the Puranas. Wise people also know this. That is why the wise man reached God, because he already knew this and he practiced such. In the final Chopai I read, Firat sadamaya kar prire kal karma sabab gun hi kire kabahu kari karuna nanati Dete shubhino itu subuhi. It said, the soul perpetually changes life form, driven by the power of its deeds and encircled by time, faith, nature, and quality of matter. Means that you see, we came back in human birth because we have earned through merit of inheritance the good things we have done. And I reiterate this morning, I mentioned that no one short-lived. Everyone lived to the time that God has granted you and I into this world. There is no untimely death, nor no short-lived. Everyone comes into this world based on one's karma. And to close the story, speaking of one karma, one day in the age of Dwapar, in the presence of Sri Krishna, he lived in human body, and he gave the profound teachings, he even gave the beautiful literature and a poem he read to Arjuna, the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Vasudevam sutam devam kham sacharu yamardhanam devaki paramanandam krishnam vande jagadguru. He is the world teacher. So one day, when he reached the age of 125 years, Radha ascended to Gaulok, where she dwells as Radha Rani. Bharavam, who's the elder brother of Sri Krishna, ascend to Vaikunta, which he is the embodiment of Shesha, the Ananta Shesha, the 1,000-head snake that Bhagavan Lord Vishnu sits in. He ascended. But Bhagavan Krishna did otherwise. He went to the forest and sit on the tree and awaiting his time. That one day one hunter by the name of Jalanda will come and shot him. He sits there and is contemplating on the three faces of the world. And one day one hunter was walking and he saw some movements and some noise. And pull his arrow and he strikes. And when he strikes and he heard Radhe. He heard somebody say Radhe. And when he heard the echoes of a human, he rushes, he thought was a deer. He rushes to the aid, not knowing he'll find there his Lord lays on the ground. And he hold on to the feet of Sri Krishna. And he said, "Oh my Lord, forgive me, I have not known." Krishna says, "This was destined to happen." But Jalanda, and Jalanda began to cry for mercy and forgiveness. And the Lord Sri Krishna looked at his eyes and said, "Oh, Jalanda, let me reflect and lead you back into your previous birth. You was King Bali, and I was Sri Ram. Your brother Sugriv comes to me for aid because you were arrogant and egoistic. You has Abhiman and power. You could defeat anyone. You even defeat Ravana in your previous birth of King Bali. Everyone feared you. But oh, Jalanda, you had taken advantages and you began to humiliate your brother. Sugriv, your brother came to me for aid and I came to his aid. You and him had a fierce battle. I stood behind the tree and I shot you with an arrow and bow. From behind, you cry for mercy. I have give you mukti. Today is called karma. Today you came back in this world, human world, as a hunter named Jalanda. And I am Sri Ram, today I am Krishna. Today, what I have done before, you turn it back to me. If you do good, good will comes back to you. If you do wrong, then we'll suffer the consequences of our action. No one will escape karma. And that's what Krishna teaches in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. He came as human. Once you're born, you have to die. And here, what you do before will come to haunt you. If you do something wrong, if you do something good, then you will attain rewards or merits. And Krishna teaching his previous birth that today you had shot me with an arrow which I had shot you before. And as Krishna said, Radhe, he had ascended to Kaulok. He had to return to his abode as the master of the world, Sri Narayana. Brothers and sisters, these are the teachings of Sri Ramachitra Manas. Goswami Tulsidas pens those beautiful words. And these are teachings and a moral for all of us. If there is differences and changes that we can do alternation, if we can reconcile our life, then definitely we would know this today. He already knew, like I said, a wise man knew, and he acted based on the thinkings, and he does the right thing. You and I are already educated. That becomes wise. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Prem se Sri Ramachandra Bhagavan ki
Jai. Dhanyavad.
I pray.